Okay, we are back again. How are you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
A bit tired, but I'm good. I'm good.
You know what? Funny thing. It's good that we did an episode about Andrew Tate last week because he got
Oh,
cancelled. You
yeah, I
know,
saw that.
they
Yes.
they banned him from virtually everywhere, like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter.
Yeah.
I wonder what will be his like. I know. Let's say
Reaction?
like a medium, like a vehicle for him to like deliver the message to people. Like, of course, he probably has a website or something like that where like his most devoted fans are coming uh, to like interact with him. But I wonder how he now intend how now he intends to grow his audience.
Mm,
That's interesting for me from marketing point of view, I would
yeah.
say, you know.
I know we need to talk about overrated, underrated, but I'm just curious because we're talking about him being banned from all these social networks, etc. Right? Like, what's your view in terms of companies can just ban you from using their platforms?
Mm, that's uh, I think that would be too long discussion about it because that
Just
too
quickly.
many facets to this topic, you know.
Overall,
So
do you think it's a good thing
on,
or a bad
on
thing?
one hand you have something like, okay, I'm taking, let's say, like all of those companies um, are private companies,
Yeah,
right? All of those platforms. So if you have your own company, let's say let's imagine you have a restaurant and there is this guy who is coming over to your restaurant and offending people all the time, you know, who are
mm,
dining at your restaurant. Would you ban this guy from your restaurant or not?
yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
really difficult. It's They have all the right to to uh, to ban him from their platforms.
mm,
But honestly, he's not the first person who's banned from social media platforms. Like Donald Trump was before him.
yeah,
so really, like it's not like an extremely new case, I would say.
no,
And we
no,
are talking about some guy who is like a celebrity, you know. uh, Donald Trump at that time was former president of the United States uh, and influential politician. So let's say lack of Donald Trump in social media spaces was more impactful than lack of Andrew Tate.
mm,
So, you know, of course, there is some kind of a morality regarding free speech and stuff like that. But at the same time, I believe that the like your freedom of speech should not limit someone else's freedom of speech and should not limit someone else's freedom. So where you
mm,
start saying things like, I don't know, oh, I have the freedom of speech to tell that I hate this particular group of people and
yeah,
I don't want them in public spaces. I don't know.
yeah.
That's a bit, okay, it's a freedom of speech, but that's a bit too far, you know.
Mm, mm, mm. No, I'm just fascinated by this. So, but anyway, we need to go back to talk about overrated and underrated. Another thing that we did in the
Yeah.
past.
So quick reminder: overrated, underrated is a discussion for us to decide whether a certain topic, whether a certain thing is underrated or overrated in the, let's say, general view, like by the public. So So whether we think that people underrate or overrate certain thing.
Mm, completely. Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's start with the most trending one.
Okay. I think it's this one, the first one.
Yes, crypto and blockchain. I would add NFT here, but let's say NFT, of course, is built on crypto, built on blockchain. So it's part of the whole industry. So uh, so
Yeah. I know what I think. And
I think you should go first because this is your cup of tea, and then maybe I will add something.
okay, I have two ways to answer this question actually. One
Okay.
is if you look at what is on the news, then I think it's overrated. Um, I think people get too hyped about price, about this, thinking they can make a shitload of money very easily. It's all like a Ponzi scheme. That for me, that part of the narrative is very, very overrated. If you're not educated enough, I think yeah, it's overrated for you. You know, you should not touch it if you are not educated and you don't know what you're doing. However, I think if you are educated and you really understand the technology and the adoption curve, network effect, Metcalfe's law, and things like that, then for me, I would say it's underrated, especially in the space of NFT, is my view. In that the utility, we haven't really even explored how NFT can be used, not just pictures of monkeys or pictures of whatever that got sold for millions and millions of dollars. That's the overrated part. But the underrated part is in 10 years, 20 years' time, how this is going to replace everything that we have as physical evidence of something. So think about your certificate, whether it's a diploma certificate, graduation certificate, whether it's your qualifications, whether it's any receipts that you buy, tickets for music festivals, for concerts, or going to an event. All this sort of stuff can potentially be replaced by NFT and the technology that sits behind it. So for me, the two-way answer this is if you look at it from a price perspective, investment, I think that's a little bit overrated. But if you look at the technology and the adoption of it and what's under the hood, then for me that is underrated and seriously, seriously, seriously underrated. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I would say invest. I would say the same. Like investment wise, is at the moment is super overrated. When it comes to the actual application, I'm not. I'm not gonna say 100%, but
Mm,
probably underrated because we should wait for the second wave.
mm,
We should wait for the second wave of this technology, which will probably happen after the massive decline that the industry will experience in the upcoming months,
yeah,
maybe years, and then there will be uprising and there will be increase. There will be growth, and people will start to come up with new up, application of this technology, and this time it will be useful. It will create more value to the public, to the society as a whole, not only as a matter of speculation on some assets,
yeah,
because that's what actually it was for past, like I don't know, 18 months. I would say 18 months, maybe less, but it was like asset for speculation, investment for speculation. That's it.
correct.
You know what, I'm reading right now. I'm reading Peter Thiel, 0 to 1.
Mhm.
Do you know this book?
I know the
uh,
book. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So in this book he described dot-com mania as it was intense but short, 18 months of insanity, gold rush of Silicon Valley, money everywhere, often sketchy people to chase it.
Mm.
Doesn't this sound familiar?
Exactly, exactly, exactly. And this could potentially be that moment back in the 2000s, right? So, there's going to be 90% of the project that's going to go to zero, literally zero. But there's going to be the Googles, the Facebooks, the Netflix that is hidden within them. So it's our job to find out what are they, and then if you invest in them, then you could potentially be in a really good space. But what's also important is that when we talk about .com, it's 2000, right? It was 1990 something, 2000. It all sort of picked up and peaked in 2020. This sort of time is still growing. That took 20 years. So I guess if people think they can become a millionaire next year by getting into crypto, you're wrong. But if you think about it for 20 years, 30 years, there might be a chance. Not investment advice, not financial advice, but there might be a chance. There might be a chance.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay,
Okay.
let's to the next one.
What's the next one you want to do? Let's do this one. Soft
Soft
skills.
skills, massively underrated.
Mm.
And I'm speaking from my own experience of, let's say, Polish slash European educational system. Maybe more Polish than European as a whole, but I would say that. But also during university, I would say that there loads of hours are spent on crafting technical skills, and this is forced upon us, I would say. So, you know, in like primary school and high school, you will probably do maths, you will do some languages, you will do some, I don't know, maybe some computer studies or something like that. Maybe even some arts, which are more of like technical, actually nature than soft skills. Then during the university, doing your master degree, you will do all this, financial analysis and stuff like that. And actually, if you don't take initiative on your own, you will not learn any soft skills. You will not grow any soft skills. You will
Mhm.
not gain any of them. You probably you will have some group works, but it's not enough. The pace that you will then experience when you go to real life job after the university, or maybe you will start a company. Like the pace of learning and mastering your soft skills will be 10x of what it was during your education. So
Mm.
definitely look for, if like education fails you to provide you with opportunities to develop your soft skills. So if you have 15 at right now, or maybe even 20, or maybe even or maybe you have only 1 year of studying left, and you still want to take the most out of it, then go and find something where you can develop your soft skills. Don't focus too much on technical skills.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I think soft skills is kind of between underrated and properly rated. I think for me, it's between there. And I think just to define what soft skills is, for me, soft skills are things like, the communications and, things we talked about in the past, like patience, tenacity. For me, that's my definition of soft skills. And actually, we do have the next few episodes where we'll focus on talking about soft
Mm-hmm.
skills a lot. Um, but yeah, for me, it's somewhere between properly rated and underrated. And it's because I feel like a lot of people know it, but not a lot of people do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And also when I look at myself and I think, what gives me the success that I have today, etc. I think it's all of those things. And things like communication, how do you talk about certain things? And these are things that no one teaches us. I'm sure you and me, our communication skills have improved because we have been doing a podcast for 70 episodes now, and we just practice it every single week. So for me, it's like people know it, but people, I think, take it for granted, and people think that it's not something that they can work on, but actually it is something that you can work on. You just have to do it. But then also another thing that I think why it's still underrated is because employers or clients, for example, they don't value this a lot sometimes, in my opinion. They will say it, but they don't actually show it. They will say, "Oh yeah, it's good," but it's like, but they don't really take that as part of your, I don't know, evaluation or stuff like that. So for me, it's like, yeah, I think a lot of people know it, so properly rate it, but not many people actually practice it or make it happen or make it part of a way of measuring performance, etc.
Uh-huh.
So for me, it's still
Yeah.
underrated in that sense.
So let's do a swift transition to technical knowledge,
Yeah,
which is very close to, like, it's related to the spectrum of, soft skills,
that's why we
technical
do this.
knowledge, like two different ends of some spectrum.
Mm,
And for me, technical knowledge is overrated in that sense that uh, technical knowledge can be mostly self-thought by just spending loads of time, on it. So if you devote loads of your time, your free time, your working time, whatever, on developing your technical knowledge, then you will accumulate it, right?
mm,
But when it comes to soft skills, you to some extent you can, go read some books, do some
yeah.
online courses or something like that, and and maybe get some idea about soft skills. But to actually develop them in yourself, you will need some opportunities for that,
Hmm.
and opportunities don't happen every day.
Yeah.
So 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 it's not like technical knowledge. You can gain technical knowledge every day by devoting your time, but for soft skills, you just need opportunities, which don't happen every day, don't happen every hour. So it's not that easy to develop soft skills.
Yeah.
And also from um let's say, hmm, hustler, entrepreneur, um, point of view, I would say that soft skills are definitely more important than technical knowledge to go on top, to become a leader, to become
Mm,
an entrepreneur, hustler. Because actually, good entrepreneurs, good leaders, they are confident to manage people who are better than them, in a meaning they have more technical knowledge than them.
yeah.
Do you think that Bill Gates was the smartest IT guy in Microsoft?
Probably not.
Maybe in the very early stages, but later on, I don't think so. Do you think
Mm,
that Steve Jobs was the smartest in Apple when
don't
it
think
comes
so.
to technical knowledge? No, like he had some soft skills that just that were just like a drive for the whole company, right? It was the main drive for the company, not like technical knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think for me, technical knowledge is, and I'm biased on this, I think it's overrated. And not that I'm not saying it's not important. We all agree that it is important. But I think you really nailed it on its head there just now when you said maybe in the early stages, technical knowledge are very important to show your value, find your value in the marketplace. But then if you want to move up, soft skills become really important because you are leveraging other people's technical knowledge to help you get things done, to help you get tasks done. One thing I would say is that I obviously don't want people to walk away thinking that, oh, technical knowledge is so important, so I can just work on my soft skills. That is absolutely not what we are saying. I think they're both important. And if you have both, it's great. You should work towards excelling in both of them. You can't really do one without the other unless you consciously choose to do that. But for me, technical knowledge is overrated also in the sense that in companies or in the clients of the work, people always just value that first. Makes sense because it's the easiest thing that people can measure. But one should not judge one's performance purely based on technical knowledge. It should also have an equal weighting in soft skills. Is my view. Whereas at the moment, everyone just talk about technical knowledge a lot. So yeah, that's my view.
Okay, so we are
All
over
right.
20 minutes now. So
Speed up.
so okay. So you
Shall I
want to
speed
do
up or do you
okay?
want to break?
Let's just do one more.
Okay, let's do one more.
I
You
will
pick.
okay.
You want me to pick?
Yeah, pick.
Okay, I will pick. I think we talked about one of them briefly before, so I want to
Okay.
talk about this one. Business partner. Do you
Oh,
think it's
uh,
overrated or underrated?
hmm. I would say properly rated because there are some pros and cons to having a business partner. Because I had two business partnerships in my entrepreneurial career so far, and they didn't work out as planned, unfortunately. Um, so sometimes I would say the biggest con of having a business partner is the the fact that there is responsibility dilutes, so sometimes maybe it's the matter of maturity or setting strict rules between business partners, but the dilution of responsibility is quite big issue when it comes to business partnerships. The pro of having a business partner is you are not in this alone, and you have like two people combined, you have more skills. Two people combined, you have more network capital, let's say. Two people combined, in certain circumstances, you have more financial resources together. So so that these are the pros of having a business partner.
Yeah.
So I would say properly rated. Like, there are good things to it and there are bad things to it. Like, of course, Bill Gates had Paul Allen with him. Steve Jobs had Steve Wozniak with him. But I have never heard about Jeff Bezos having anyone as a business partner or close business partner. I have never heard about Elon Musk
Yeah.
having like a close business partner or something like that. So like,
Don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a business partner at the moment, so I think I'm not really well qualified to talk about this. But what I would say is, I think people need to be very clear that business partner are very different from friends, and you decided to do
Yeah,
business together. Um, because I think people always think, oh, we're good friends, and then we can start to talk about this business thing. But then going into a relationship as a business partner is very different from doing
no,
friends.
yeah,
And I think if you're not mature enough to draw those boundaries, you may ended up losing a friend because there's money involved, there's profit, there's X, Y, there's Z. So yeah, for me, that is like the differentiator that I think people needs to have, is that if you don't expect people will think about the same thing as you do, because yeah, being business partners and friends are two very different things. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
just the only one
like
I want to say.
actually, two of my business partners were my good friends, and yeah, unfortunately, it didn't
Work out.
turn out as we expected, but
Yeah,
we are still in I'm still in good relationships with them. So like, if you
still
are
good.
mature enough, even if something goes south, you are still to you are able to still like uh, get along. You know.
Mm,
Okay,
okay,
that's for tonight. We went over time, but thank you
we did.
everyone for watching, for listening to it. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you will start following us on the Newborn Hustlers Instagram profile. Then you will know about the upcoming episodes. You will know about the topics of the upcoming episodes.
Indeed.
So go there and find us there and follow us.
That's it. Thank you,
Yep.
everyone, and then